form of the Alef. Now, we've already discussed its form in the fact that it is two Yuds, which is the 10th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, and the Vav, which is the 6th letter of the Hebrew alphabet. We talked about just one of the most obvious meanings, and that is the hand of God connecting with the hand of man. We also talked about the upper waters and the lower waters, and now we're going to take it a little bit further. So, do you know that the Alef did you know that the Alef is also the secret of the image in which man was created? That is pretty interesting. We find that even though Hebrew is not the first letter of the Torah, the second letter of Hebrew is the first letter of the Torah, the Beit, which we will talk about in another video. We do find that the Alef is the first letter of the 10 Commandments, Anochi, I. And when you put the first letter, Alef, with the second letter, Beit, it spells the word Father. And the Torah is replete, talking about God as our Father and the Father of lights. Our Father is our Creator. Our Father is the one who watches over us and makes sure that all of our needs are met. Well, let's take a look at the name or the meaning of the first letter, Alef, as it pertains to its definitions as an oxen, a teacher or teaching, 1,000, and master. Now, first of all, we understand, even as master, that God is not just the one who created the heavens and the earth, but he is also the one who oversees all of his creation. So he is the master of the universe, the worker of wonders. Now, when we look at Hebrew, we actually find this language is operating in 3 worlds. It's operating in the physical realm, which we know is the world. It's operating in the soul of man as the DNA, as we talked about, if you caught our session on what Hebrew is as DNA, all right? And third, it operates in the spiritual realm, the divine realm. So just as an oxen is that which cultivates the earth, okay? It can break up that fallow ground, all right? It does represent the lower reality, okay? It also represents man yoking himself with God, just like an oxen has to be yoked with another or lesser animal, all right, to plow a field. So do we need to be yoked with God to carry out the divine destiny of our life. Now, in the soul realm, we find that God says, I will teach you. In fact, the whole book of Mishlei, the book of Proverbs, is about God teaching us or instructing us in his ways. He says, I will teach you wisdom. And wisdom is the root of the soul that is seeking after God. He says even the beginning of wisdom is the fear of God, all right? So the soul is very, very connected to God teaching it and desires this teaching. Also, this is where we get our divine inspiration by the Lord teaching us, or Adonai, who is our master, instructing us. And then we also find that one of the things we see in the very beginning of the whole plan of creation is the process of multiplication, of reproduction, all right? And that also has to do with plowing the land, planting the seed, and seeing the harvest. So in divinity, we also know that God manifests himself to mankind in a multiplicity of characteristics, all right? So even though we worship one God, he has a plurality to it, to himself, all right, in the process of creation, the understanding of creation, and the way that God manifests himself and his nature to you, to mankind. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Aleph